Hi, this is Uplatz tutor. We are going to discuss interview questions on SAP HANA. We go to next question. Question is, in SAP HANA Studio, what is the use of different folders when you add a HANA system to Studio? First, backup. It is used to perform for backup and recovery in the SAP HANA system. You can check backup configuration details, run a manual backup, check last successful backup performed, etc. for data and log backup. Next, catalog. This contains RDBMS objects like schemas, tables, views, procedures, etc. You can open SQL editor and design database objects. Next, content. This is used to maintain a design time repository. You can create a new packages and design information views in HANA system. Various views can be created under the content tab to meet business requirements and to perform analytical reports on the top of modeling views. Next one is provisioning. This is used for smart data access to connect to other databases like Hadoop, Teradata, and Sybase. Last one. Security. This is used to define users and to assign roles. You can define various privileges under different users using the security tab. You can assign database and package privileges to different users to control the data access. We go to next question. If you want to see all the activity, all the active alerts, description and priority, where this can be checked, go to administration and alerts. In the administration tab, you can check system overview, landscape, volumes, configuration, system information, etc. Next question. What do you understand by trusted RFC connection? Which transaction is used to create and configure trusted RFC on your source SAP system? A1, U1 want to set up a trusted RFC to target system B1. When it is done, it would mean that when you are logged onto A1 and your user has enough authorization in B1, you can use the RFC connection and log on to B1 without having to re-enter user and password. SM59 to create, this is the T code to create trusted RFC. Next question. What is auto documentation feature in HANA? When the user creates views in HANA Studio under contents, he can automatically generate the documentation about the views. This generated document will have the details about all the views belongs to package which he selected for auto documentation. Next question. What is the development language used by SAP HANA? C++. Name the operating system SAP HANA supports. More than 70% of customers run their SAP workloads on Linux with the use of SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, which is the best OS choice for SAP HANA. Next question. Explain parallel processing in SAP HANA. Using the column data storage approach, the workload in SAP HANA is divided vertically. The columnar approach allows linear searching and aggregation of data rather than two-dimensional data structure. If more than one column is to be processed, each task is assigned to diverse processor. Operations on one column are then collimated by column divisions processed by different processor. We go to next question. List the advantages of using SAP HANA database. With the HANA technology, you can create generation next applications, giving effective and efficient results in the digital economy. By using single data in memory, SAP HANA supports smooth transaction process and fault-tolerant analytics, easy and simple operations using an open source. Unified platform in the cloud, high-level data integration to access massive amounts of data, advanced tools for in-depth analysis of present, past, and the future. The merits and demerits of using row-based tables. First, we discuss about merits. No data approach can be faster than row-based if you want to analyze, process, and retrieve one record at one time. Row-based tables are useful when there is specific demand of accessing complete records. It is preferred when the table consists of less number of rows. This data storage and processing approach is easier and effective without any aggregations and fast searching. Now we discuss about demerits. The data retrieval and processing operations involve the complex row, even though all the information is not useful. We go to next question. List advantages of column-based tables. Allows smoother parallel processing of data as the data in columns is stored vertically. Thus, to access data from multiple columns, every operation can be allocated to separate processor core. Only specific columns need to be approached for select query, and any column can be used for indexing. Efficient operations, since most columns hold unique values and thus high compression rate. Next question. What is latency? The total stretch of time consumed to replicate data from source system to target system is calculated as latency. We go to next question. What table type is preferred in SAP HANA administration, column-based or row-based? Since analytic operations require massive aggregations and agile data processing, column-based tables are preferred in SAP HANA as the data in column is stored consequently one after the other, enabling faster and easier readability and retrieval. Thus, columnar storage is preferred on most OLAP queries. On the contrary, row-based tables force users to read and access all the information in a row, even though you require data from few or specific columns. Next question. What is the main SAP HANA database components? Index server consists of actual data engines for data processing, including input SQL in MDX statements, and performs authentic transactions. Go to next question. Explain concept of persistence layer. The persistence layer in SAP HANA handles all logging operations and transactions for secured backup and data restoring. This layer manages data stored in both rows and columns and provides steady save points. Built on the concept of persistence layer of SAP's relational database, it ensures successful data restores. Besides managing log data on the disk, HANA's persistence layer allows read and write data operations via all storage interfaces. Next question. Define Modeling Studio in SAP HANA administration. Modeling Studio is an operational tool in SAP HANA based on Eclipse developments and administration, which includes live project creation. Thus, SAP HANA Studio further builds development objects and deploys them to access and modify data models like HTML and JavaScript files. It also handles various data services to perform data inputs from SAP Warehouse and other related databases, responsible for scheduling data replication tasks. Next question. List the different compression techniques used in HANA: run length encoding, cluster encoding, dictionary encoding. Next question. Explain SLT. SLT expands to SAP landscape transformation, referring to trigger-based replication. SLT replication permits data transfer from source to targets, where the source can be SAP or non-SAP, while target system has to be SAP HANA with the HANA database. Users can accomplish data replication from multiple sources. The three replication techniques supported by HANA are SLT, SAP Business Objects Data Services, SAP HANA Direct Extractor Correction. Next question. How to perform backup and recovery operations. During a regular operation, data is by default stored to disk at save points in SAP HANA. As soon as there is any update and transaction, logs become active and get saved from the disk memory. In case of power failure, the database restarts like any other DB, returning to the last save point log state. SAP HANA requires backup to protect against disk failure and reset DB to the previous state. The backup simultaneously the users keep performing their tasks. We go to next question. Define SLT configuration. Configuration is the meaningful information to establish a connection between source SLT system and SAP HANA architecture as stated in the SLT system. Programmers are allowed to illustrate a new configuration in configuration and monitoring dashboard. Next question. What is stall? The waiting process for data to upload from the main memory to the CPU, is called stall. Next question. Define different types of information views. There are primarily three types of information views, which are all attribute view, analytic view, calculation view. What are the configuration and monitoring dashboards? They are SLT replication application servers to provide configuration information for data replication. This replication status can also be monitored. Next question. What is logging table? Logging table records all replicated changes in the table, which can be further replicated to the target system. Next question. How to define transformation rules in HANA using advanced replication settings. Transformation rules are specified to transfer data from source tables during replication process. For instance, setting rules to convert fill vacant fields and skip records. These rules are structured using advanced replication settings. We go to next question. Explain the role of transaction manager and session. SAP HANA Transaction Manager synchronizes database transactions, keeping the record of closed and open transactions. When a transaction is committed or rolled back, the manager informs all the active stores and engines about the action so that they can perform required actions in time. Next question. How is SQL statement processed in SAP HANA? Each SQL statement in SAP HANA is carried out in the form of transaction. Every time a new session is allocated to a new transaction. Next question. Define master controller job. A master controller job is responsible to build database logging table in the source system. It further creates synonyms and new entries in the SLT server admin when the table loads or replicates. Next question. How users can avoid an unnecessary storage of logging information, pause the replication process, and terminate the schema-related jobs. Is the table size in source system and SAP HANA system same? No. Next question. When to change the number of data transfer jobs? The number of data transfer jobs change when the initial loading speed or latency replication time is not up to the mark. At the end of the initial load, the number of initial load jobs may be reduced. What is the default IMCE Studio perspective? Administrator console. Next question. How does SAP HANA support import from local file? Go to file import. You will see below option. This is used to import data from a flat file like .xls or .csv file. Click on next. Choose target system, define import properties, select source file by browsing local system. It also gives an option if you want to keep the header row. It also gives an option to create a new table under existing schema, or if you want to import data from a file to an existing table. You go to next question. What are the different modes in HANA Studio that can be used for migration? Change and transport system, delivery unit, developer mode, SAP support mode. Now we go to next question. Which all business objects tools can be directly connected to HANA transformation information views? SAP Lumira, Analysis Edition for OLAP, SAP Crystal Reports, Design Studio. Now we go to next question. What are different recovery mechanisms can be performed in HANA system? Most recent states used for recovering the database to the time as close to possible to the current time. For this recovery, the data backup and log backup have to be available since last data backup and log area are required to perform the above type recovery. Next type recovery is point in time, used for recovering the database to the specific point in time. For this recovery, the data backup and log backup have to be available since last data backup and log area are required to perform above type recovery. Next recovery is specific data backup, used for recovering the database to a specified data backup. Specific data backup is required for the above type of recovery option. Specific log position. This recovery type is an advanced option that can be used in exceptional cases where a previous recovery failed. Now we go to next question. How can you connect SAP HANA to Microsoft Excel? MDX provider is used to connect MS Excel to SAP HANA database system. It provides the driver to connect HANA system to Excel and is further used for data modeling. You can use Microsoft Office Excel 2010-2013 for connectivity with HANA for both 32-bit and 64-bit windows. Next question. How you can limit the size of data backup files in HANA system? This can be done in file-based data backup settings. In backup tab, go to configuration, limit maximum file size box and enter the file size. Next question. What is a restricted user in SAP HANA system? Restricted users are those users who access HANA system with some applications and they don't have SQL privilege on HANA system. When these users are created, they don't have any access initially. If we compare restricted users with standard users, restricted users can't create objects in HANA database or their own schemas. They don't have access to view any data in database as they don't have generic public role added to profile like standard users. They can connect to HANA database only using HTTP or HTTPS. We go to next question. How you can use data provisioning in SAP HANA Studio? Go to SAP HANA Modeler Perspective, data provisioning. Next question. What are the different modes in data provision in HANA Studio? Load, replicate, suspend, resume. Next question. What is SAP HANA analytic privileges? Analytic privileges are used to limit access on HANA information views. You can assign different types of right to different users on different components of a view in the analytic privileges. Next question. What is a new calculated column in a HANA modeling view? New calculated column is defined as a column added on the fly in analysis tab when a view is activated. This column doesn't exist at database level or in data foundation or star join level. Next question. What is SAP HANA Cockpit? SAP HANA Cockpit is a SAP Fiori Launchpad site that allows you with a single point of access to a range of web-based applications for the online administration of SAP HANA. You access the SAP HANA Cockpit through a web browser. To open SAP HANA Cockpit, Right click on HANA system in Studio, configuration and monitoring. Open SAP HANA cockpit. We go to next question. Which operating system is supported by HANA system? Only operating system that is supported by HANA is SUSE Linux Enterprise Server. Next question. What is HANA bad at? There are some current issues around HANA when delivering ad hoc analytics, especially when using the SAP Business Objects Webby tool. Essentially, the problem is that you can ask computationally very difficult questions with Webby, which can cause very long response times with HANA. SAP will need to build optimization for both Webby and HANA to reduce the computational complexity of these questions. But they are not there yet. What's more, it's worth noting that HANA 1.0 is not a data warehouse and it is more of a data mart that is suited to point applications where there is a clear use case. Next question. Why is HANA so fast? Regular RDBMS technologies put the information on spinning plates of iron from which information is retrieved. HANA stores information in electronic memory, which is some 50 times faster. HANA stores a copy on magnetic disk in case of power failure on or the like. In addition, most SAP systems have the database on one system and a calculation engine on the other, and they pass information between them. With HANA, this all happens within the same machine. Next question. Does HANA IMDB replace Oracle? It's the elephant in the room, but once the business suite runs on IMDB, Oracle won't be needed anymore by SAP customers who purchase HANA. This doesn't affect anything in the short term because those people buying HANA today will still need an Oracle ERP system. Next question. What is about 10:1 compression with HANA compared to Oracle? A typical uncompressed Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server database, when put into HANA, will be 10 times smaller than before, and this is due to the way that HANA stores information in a compressed format. Note that most databases are now compressed, and these numbers may not fit your scenario. And to add to this, you need 2 times the RAM as your database plus room for growth. HANA sizing is still a dark art. Next question. You mean I have to buy a HANA only 2.5 times smaller than my big Oracle RDBMS? What about archiving and data aging? Yes, in some instances, you may have to buy a HANA appliance that is only 2.5 times smaller than it would be under Oracle. And data aging is not part of the 1.0 release, but SAP is certainly working on it pretty hard. Let's hope they release something faster than you need to buy a bigger appliance. What's the wider market opportunity for IMDB? This is the interesting thing. No one knows yet. A few analysts seem to have cottoned on that wider market opportunity might be huge. Think not just SAP applications, but any third party that requires ultra high speed. Think not just an appliance, but development platform. Next question. What hardware is supported right now? All of the major vendors, HP, IBM, Dell have HANA offerings now. Technically, HANA will run on any Intel x64 based system from your laptop through to the big 40 core 2 TB RAM servers. It is, however, only supported on a small number of big rack mount servers like the Dell R910 and HP DL980. Next question. Why doesn't HANA run on blades? It is unclear, but probably because blades don't yet offer same performance. HANA is optimized for the Intel X7 560 CPU and will run fastest on this. And for instance, the Dell M910 blade can only run 2XX7650 CPUs and 512 GB RAM in this configuration, which probably explains the limitations. What's certain is that HANA will eventually run on blades. It's born to run on blades technology, no doubt about that. Next question. Does SAP make their own IMDb HANA hardware? Yes, but only in the lab so far. There are no public plans to compete against IBM, HP, Dell in this space, but it may make sense for SAP to enter appliance market, especially in the context of data centers and even more so in the context of SAP business by design cloud offering, which will run on IMDb. Next question. How big does HANA scale? Theoretically, at least very well. The biggest single server HANA hardware will run most mid-size workloads. 2 TB of in-memory storage is equivalent to 5 to 20 TB of Oracle storage. The way that HANA works means that it is possible to chain multiple systems together, meaning that scalability has thus far been determined by size of customers. Let's do note that will SAP talk up big data quite a lot. HANA currently only scales to the small end of big data, which refers to the kind of huge data sets that Facebook or Google have to store, not terabytes, but rather petabytes. Next question. What storage subsystem does HANA use? This varies from vendor to vendor, but it is shared network attached storage. Both regular magnetic disks and SSD storage can be used for backup of the database. Note that you require 2x storage that you have RAM, which is 2x the double database size. That is, storage size is equal to 4x database size. In most cases, there is additional ultra high-speed SSD storage for long files. What source databases does HANA support in real time? If you use C-based replication server for near real-time data, then you need to watch out for licensing still. You run DB2 and then you are fine, but with Oracle and Microsoft SQL Server, there are some license challenges if you buy your license through SAP, because you may have a limited license that doesn't allow extraction. We go to next question. What source databases does HANA support for batch loads? If you use SAP Business Objects Data Services 4.0 for bulk loads, then pretty much anything. BODS is a very flexible extract, transform, and load tool that supports many databases. Check out the specifics for more details. We go to next question. What additional limitations does C-based replication server present? SRS has additional restrictions which are worth bearing in mind. It can only replicate Unicode data and does not support IBM DB2 compressed tables. Next question. How to add a system to SAP HANA Studio? First, manually. With this method, you add one SAP HANA system at a time. In the system's view, right-click on any blank area and choose Add System. Fill in the server name, instance number, and system description, and choose Next. Fill in the username and password, and choose Finish. By importing a landscape, this is second method. This method allows you to connect to several SAP HANA systems at the same time. By importing an XML file generated previously by a landscape export from the SAP HANA Studio installed on your computer or any another. Next, continuation. Choose file, import, and choose SAP HANA landscape. Specify the landscape file location, the destination folder for the import, and choose Finish. What is a delivery unit in SAP HANA? Delivery unit is a single unit which can be mapped to multiple packages and can be exported as a single entity so that all the packages assigned to delivery unit can be treated as single unit. Users can use this option to export all the packages that make a delivery unit and the relevant objects contained in it to a HANA server or to local client location. The user should create delivery unit prior to using it. This can be done through HANA modular delivery units. Select system and next create. Fill in the details like name, version, etc. OK. Add packages to delivery unit. Finish. Next question. Explain SAP HANA engines. Run the plan visualization on your query to determine what engine is used to process query. Join engine used when querying on attribute view and also when running SQL scripts. OLAP engine used for analytic view. Calculation engine used for calculation views and analytic views with calculated attributes. Next question. Explain SAP HANA software optimization. SAP applications are, of course, required to support not only SAP HANA but also databases which are certified for ABAP. For this reason, there is an enhancement in those ABAP programs which are SAP HANA optimized. In a business add-on, those programs first check for the database in place. In case of SAP HANA, the optimized version is triggered. In other case, the classical ABAP flow is executed. Thus, there are two versions of certain processes on the application layer. Standard ABAP code working on every supported base. Optimized ABAP code working on SAP HANA only. Next question. Explain SAP HANA deployment scenarios. First, side-by-side scenario. In the side-by-side scenario, the database tables that are used by SAP HANA live products need to be replicated from the corresponding SAP Business Suite backend system into SAP HANA database. This is done using SAP Landscape Transformation Replication Server. If you want to execute SAP HANA live views, the data from the corresponding tables must be available. Next question. Continuation of this. Second scenario is integrated scenario. In the integrated scenario, you do not need to create and replicate database tables as they are already available in the SAP HANA database. They are maintained through data dictionary of the corresponding ABAP application server. Therefore, all steps regarding table creation and data replication are not relevant in this scenario. When a SAP database is migrated to SAP HANA, in which table storage type do the tables get stored? When a SAP system is migrated to SAP HANA, the SAP tables are automatically migrated into storage type suited best. This logic is defined by SAP. The majority of tables are held in the column store. This information can be accessed in SAP HANA Studio. In the technical settings of each table in the SAP dictionary. With column-based storage, data is only partially blocked. Therefore, individual columns can be processed at the same time by different cores. Next question. How does SAP HANA compression work? Apart from performance reasons, column store offers much more potential leverage data for data compression concepts. For example, SAP HANA works with bit encoded values and compresses repeated values, which results in much less memory requirements than for a classical row store table. Next question. How SAP HANA handles partitioning, spreads the table contents across the blades, work on smaller sets of data in parallel. Next question. What is SAP Information Composer? SAP Information Composer is a web-based application that allows business to upload to and manipulate data on the SAP HANA database. The SAP HANA Information Composer uses a Java server which interacts with the SAP HANA database. The Java server communicates with the SAP HANA Information Composer client via HTTP or HTTPS. Continuation. The SAP HANA Information Composer client is accessible to users who are assigned the IC_modeler role. This role allows users to upload new content into the SAP HANA database and to create physical tables and calculation views. Next question. Explain persistence layer within SAP HANA. The persistence layer of SAP HANA relies on data and log volumes. The in-memory data is regularly saved to these volumes. Next question. Mention the two types of relational data stored in HANA. The two types of relational data stored in HANA includes row store and column store. Mention what is the role of persistence layer in SAP HANA. SAP HANA has an in-memory computing engine and access the data straight away without any backup. To avoid the risk of losing data in case of hardware failure or power cutoff, the persistence layer comes as a savior and stores all the data in hardware which is not volatile. Next question. Mention what is Modeling Studio. Modeling Studio in HANA performs multiple tasks like declares which tables are stored in HANA. First part is to get metadata and then schedule data replication jobs. Manage data services to enter the data from SAP Business Warehouse and other systems. Manage ERP instances connection. The current release does not support connecting to several ERP instances. Use data services for the modeling. Do modeling in HANA itself. Essential licenses for SAP BO data services. Next question. Explain what is transformation rules. Transformation rule is the rule specified in the advanced replication setting transaction for the source table such that data is transformed during the replication process. Mention what is the advantage of SLT replication. SAP SLT works on trigger-based approach. Such approach has no measurable performance impact in the source system. It offers filtering capability and transformation. It enables real-time data replication, replicating only related data into HANA from non-SAP and SAP source systems. It is fully integrated with HANA Studios. Replication from several source systems to one HANA system is allowed. Also from one source system to multiple HANA systems is allowed. Next question. Explain how you can avoid unnecessary information from being stored. To avoid an unnecessary information from being stored, you have to pause the replication by stopping the schema-related jobs. Next question. Mention what is the role of master controller job in SAP HANA. The job is arranged on demand and is responsible for creating database triggers and logging table into the source system, creating synonyms, writing new entries in the admin tables in the SLT server when a table is replicated or loaded. Go to next question. Mention what is the role of transaction manager and session. The transaction manager coordinates database transactions and keeps a record of running and closed transactions. When transaction is rolled back or committed, the transaction manager notifies the involved storage engines about the event so they can run necessary actions. Next question. Explain how you can avoid unnecessary logging information from being stored. You can avoid unnecessary logging information from being stored by pausing the replication by stopping the schema-related jobs. Next question. This is last question for this course. Tell something you know about normalization and denormalization. Normalization is nothing but the process that is adopted for the purpose of removing the redundant data from the database. This is generally done by splitting the table into different sections. This actually makes sure of integrity. On the other side, denormalization is the process of considering the redundant data so that all the queries which are complex can be enhanced in terms of overall performance. Thank you for listening to my course.